AITA for not inviting my friend's new partner to our group outing. I 30F found myself in a tricky situation when planning a group outing with my close friends. Our group consists of 4 friends, including myself, and we've known each other since college. However, tensions arose when it came to inviting one friend's new partner to join us. One of my friends, let's call her Emily 29F, recently started dating someone new, Tom 32 meters. While Emily seems happy with Tom, the rest of us have only met him a couple of times, and we don't feel particularly close to him. Our group outings have always been about catching up and spending quality time with each other, and we weren't sure if we wanted to include someone who wasn't part of our tight-knit group. When planning our next outing, Emily mentioned that she would like Tom to join us. She expressed how important it was for her that we get to know him better and that she wanted him to feel included in our friend group. However, the rest of us were hesitant about inviting him, as we wanted to keep the outing as just the 4 of us, like old times. In the end, we decided not to invite Tom to the outing and only invited Emily and the rest of our close friends. We didn't explicitly tell Emily that we weren't inviting Tom, but we also didn't extend an invitation to him when planning the outing. When Emily found out that Tom wasn't invited, she was upset and confronted us about it. She accused us of being exclusionary and disrespectful towards her new relationship. She argued that if we truly cared about her, we would have made an effort to include Tom in our plans and get to know him better. Feeling guilty and caught off guard, we tried to explain to Emily that our decision wasn't personal and that we simply wanted to keep the outing small and intimate. We reassured her that we still valued her friendship and respected her relationship with Tom. However, Emily remained upset and distant, making us question whether we made the right choice by not inviting Tom to the outing. AITA for not inviting my friend's new partner to our group outing. Or was it justified given our desire for a smaller gathering with close friends? You're in a tough spot, but ultimately, I'd say AITA, albeit unintentionally. It's understandable that you wanted to keep the outing intimate with just your close friends, especially since you haven't known Tom for very long. However, excluding him may have made Emily feel like her relationship wasn't being respected or acknowledged by her friends. Perhaps a better approach would have been to have a conversation with Emily about your concerns and feelings regarding inviting Tom. You could have expressed your desire for a small gathering while also assuring her that you're open to getting to know him better in the future. This way, you could have found a compromise that respected both your need for an intimate gathering and Emily's desire for inclusion. In this situation, I think it's important to consider both perspectives. On one hand, Emily understandably wants her new partner, Tom, to feel included in her friend group and to have the opportunity to get to know her friends better. From her point of view, it might feel hurtful and exclusionary if Tom isn't invited to group outings, especially if she sees a future with him and wants to integrate him into her social life. On the other hand, the group of friends has a long-standing tradition of small, intimate gatherings where they catch up and spend quality time together. It's natural for them to want to maintain that dynamic and to feel comfortable around each other without the presence of someone they don't know well. They may also worry about potential awkwardness or tension if Tom were to join them, given that they're not familiar with him yet. In this case, communication is key. The friends should have a candid conversation with Emily about their reasons for not inviting Tom to the outing. They can express their desire to maintain the intimacy of their gatherings while also reassuring Emily that they respect her relationship and want to get to know Tom better in due time. Ultimately, it's about finding a compromise that respects everyone's feelings and allows the group to continue enjoying their time together while also welcoming Emily's new partner into their circle at a pace that feels comfortable for everyone involved. AITA for asking my friend to pay for damages to my car. I 28F recently found myself in a tense situation with one of my closest friends, let's call her Rachel 27F, over an incident involving my car. Rachel and I have been friends since high school, and we've always had each other's backs. However, a recent incident has put our friendship to the test. One evening, Rachel borrowed my car to run some errands while I was at work. Everything seemed fine until I received a frantic call from Rachel, informing me that she had accidentally backed into a pole while parking and caused some damage to the rear bumper of my car. She apologized profusely and assured me that she would take care of the repairs. When I returned home and inspected the damage, I was dismayed to find that it was more extensive than I had initially thought. The rear bumper was dented and scratched, and there was also some damage to the taillights. As a result, the repairs would likely be costly and time-consuming. I appreciated Rachel's honesty in admitting to the accident and her willingness to take responsibility for the damages. However, as I began to research repair options and obtain quotes from auto body shops, I realized that the cost of repairs would be higher than I had anticipated, and I couldn't afford to cover the expenses myself. Feeling conflicted, I decided to have a conversation with Rachel about the situation. I approached her calmly and explained that while I appreciated her honesty and willingness to take responsibility for the damages, I wouldn't be able to afford the cost of repairs on my own. I gently asked if she would be willing to contribute financially to cover the expenses, considering that the accident occurred while she was using my car. To my surprise, Rachel reacted defensively and accused me of being unreasonable and unfair. She argued that accidents happen, and it wasn't her fault that the pole was poorly placed. She also pointed out that she had offered to cover the cost of repairs, but she hadn't anticipated that it would be so expensive. Feeling frustrated by Rachel's response, I tried to explain that I wasn't blaming her for the accident but rather asking for her assistance in covering the costs, given that the damages occurred while she was using my car. However, Rachel remained adamant that she shouldn't be held financially responsible for the damages. Now, I'm left questioning whether I handled the situation appropriately by asking Rachel to contribute to the cost of repairs. AITA for expecting my friend to pay for damages to my car. Or was it justified given the circumstances of the accident? You're not the asshole for asking Rachel to pay for the damages to your car. While accidents can indeed happen, Rachel was responsible for the damage caused while she was using your car. It's reasonable for you to expect her to help cover the expenses, especially since it occurred under her watch. Your approach in calmly discussing the situation with Rachel was mature and reasonable. You weren't blaming her for the accident but simply asking for her assistance in covering the costs. It's understandable that you couldn't afford to cover the expenses yourself, and it's fair to expect Rachel to take responsibility for the damages. Rachel's defensive reaction and refusal to acknowledge her responsibility in contributing to the repair costs are disappointing. While she may not have anticipated the expenses, she should still recognize her role in the accident and be willing to help rectify the situation. In conclusion, you're tough for asking Rachel to pay for the damages to your car. It's a reasonable request given the circumstances, and Rachel should take responsibility for her actions.